Sydney Sweeney has been absolutely flooding everybody's feed. She hosted Saturday Night Live, released Immaculate and Madam Web, which made a combined total box office of $120 million. Just before the release of another of her movies, Anyone But You, she faked a relationship with her co-star Glenn Powell, which sent fan and the media into an absolute frenzy. The movie went on to do over $220 million in the box office and $103 million in profit.
Okay, credit where credit is due. Sydney Sweeney just snapped her box office losing streak in a really impressive way. It turns out she might not be box office poison after all. Is Sydney Sweeney the next Hollywood it girl? She was everywhere in 2025, but in movie theaters, it was one flop after another for Sweeney.
Remember when people said Sydney Sweeney's career was done? Well, things didn't just turn around. They spun in every direction. It went from bad to great to confusing again. And now everyone's watching closely to see what happens next. Just a few weeks ago, Sydney's boxing drama Christie made only $1 million during its opening weekend, reportedly one of the weakest box office debuts in recent years. Many assumed that was the end of her career. Even tech moguls defended her online, but audiences weren't showing up at theaters. Then everything flipped. Her new thriller, The Housemaid, hit theaters and completely shocked Hollywood. It pulled in $137 million within just 3 weeks and got a sequel approved almost immediately. Sydney went from career in trouble to full-on franchise lead in record time. But even with that success, the internet buzz around her hasn't quieted down. Some reports claim that Zendaya allegedly avoids standing next to her at events, and her latest photo shoot has everyone online asking, what exactly is Sydney Sweeney doing now? Let's rewind to what happened after our first breakdown. The Housemaid premiered on December 19th, going head-to-head with Avatar, Fire and Ash. Everyone expected it to flop like her earlier projects, but the opposite happened. The movie surprised everyone with a $19 million opening weekend and dropped only 19% in its second week, which is almost unheard of for a thriller. By week 3, it had crossed an incredible $130 million worldwide, all on a modest $35 million budget. Critics gave it strong reviews too, scoring a solid 73% on Rotten Tomatoes, while audiences pushed it to an impressive 92%. Fans even called it the most fun movie of the year. What a comeback for Sydney Sweeney. In The Housemaid, Sydney Sweeney plays a young woman who starts working for a wealthy couple, portrayed by Amanda Seyfried and Brandon Lenner. Soon, her character uncovers that everyone in the house is hiding something. Classic thriller energy that clearly struck a chord with audiences. Then on January 6th, just 17 days after the film's release, Lionsgate officially announced The Housemaid, Secret, the sequel based on the second book in the series. Sydney is confirmed to return as the lead and will also serve as an executive producer, with director Paul Feig coming back to direct. Filming is reportedly set to begin later this year. What a massive comeback! From 3 box office disappointments in a row to leading her own movie franchise. But things got more complicated as the spotlight on Sydney grew brighter. Despite The Housemaid's success, public opinion online didn't suddenly shift in her favor. In fact, many say the attention only got louder. While the film was dominating the box office, Sydney found herself in the middle of new controversies. In late December, she appeared in W Magazine's Best Performances issue, and the photos sparked a heated online debate. The cover paid tribute to classic Hollywood glamour, reportedly inspired by Marilyn Monroe, with gold tones, vintage curls, and an artistic aesthetic. Some praised the shoot, calling it stunning and bold, while others online criticized it and questioned the creative choice. The timing also raised eyebrows since it came while Sydney was promoting a serious thriller role, leading some to say it created mixed messages about her public image and artistic direction. Then came the viral TikTok buzz. Sydney and Amanda Seyfried teamed up for a Vanity Fair video, where they took part in a playful lie detector segment that quickly spread across social media. Fans couldn't stop talking about their chemistry and the lighthearted vibe between the two stars. During a Vanity Fair segment, Amanda Seyfried asked Sydney Sweeney if her TikTok feed ever shows her negative posts about herself. Sydney admitted that it does, saying her For You page is filled with criticism and harsh comments. Amanda quickly told her she should delete the app, calling it a toxic space for anyone in the public eye. Later, Sydney spoke with People magazine about the reaction to her American Eagle campaign. She explained, "I did it because I love jeans and love the brand. I don't support the views that some people connected to the campaign." She added that she felt misunderstood and said, "Many have assigned motives and labels to me that just aren't true. I'm against hate and divisiveness. Anyone who knows me knows I always try to bring people together." However, online discussions didn't settle down. Many users claimed her response felt unclear, saying she never directly explained what part of the campaign was misunderstood. Critics argued that Sydney often keeps her public statements vague to avoid taking strong stances, but this time, that approach didn't calm the conversation. Adding to the tension, rumors began spreading about behind-the-scenes drama on Euphoria. Several outlets reported that Zendaya and Sydney allegedly have a strained relationship. Some sources even claimed Zendaya might not want to appear in joint interviews for the upcoming season. None of this has been officially confirmed by either actress or the studio, but the reports quickly gained traction online. According to the Daily Mail, unnamed insiders described the atmosphere as complicated, with both actresses allegedly navigating different public images and media narratives. Some fans interpreted their rumored distance as a clash of personalities, while others believed it was exaggerated by social media speculation. Zendaya has long been known for using her platform to speak out on social issues, while Sydney tends to stay more private about her personal beliefs and public image choices. That difference in approach has fueled constant online comparisons between the two. At this point, the situation remains mostly rumor-based, with no direct confirmation from anyone involved. But the internet can't stop talking about it, and every new post or interview seems to spark a fresh wave of debate about what's really going on behind the scenes. Euphoria reportedly wrapped filming in November, and according to several outlets, a wrap party took place in Los Angeles. However, some reports claim that Zendaya and a few other main cast members did not attend. Sydney Sweeney was allegedly there, but appeared to arrive on her own. Sources have suggested that during filming, much of the cast worked separately, with very limited overlap in their storylines this season. An insider told Star magazine that Season 3's production schedule kept its lead actors as separate as possible, mainly due to how busy their individual careers have become. The source explained that Zendaya, Sydney, and Jacob Elordi are three of the most in-demand stars in Hollywood right now, which made coordinating their scenes extremely difficult. Still, the insider added that the studio hopes the cast can find a way to work together for future promotions, since having them appear together for interviews and magazine covers would be a major boost for the show's visibility. But according to other unverified claims, there might be more tension behind the scenes. Some online rumors suggested that Sydney may have been overly friendly with Tom Holland at industry events, which allegedly made things awkward with Zendaya. Others dismissed that entirely, saying the distance between the two actresses might just be professional. None of this has been confirmed by anyone involved, and both stars have chosen to remain silent about the speculation. Still, the gossip continues to swirl. Reports allege that the actresses barely interact, and some claim they prefer not to stand together during public appearances. If true, it could pose challenges for the upcoming press tour. Euphoria Season 3 is reportedly set to premiere in spring 2026, and fans are already wondering how the promotional campaign will work if the lead stars aren't appearing together. Despite the drama rumors, Sydney's career seems to be thriving. She currently has around 14 film and television projects in development. Her Housemaid franchise is moving forward, and her production company continues to expand. She's also signed new brand partnerships and reportedly reached an estimated net worth of around $40 million. While public opinions about her remain divided online, there's no denying she's still one of the most talked about stars in Hollywood right now. Some online communities have been using the Housemaid's success to push different narratives, claiming it reflects cultural trends in Hollywood. But in reality, most entertainment analysts agree the film worked because it's simply a strong thriller that resonated with audiences, especially women. reports show the majority of moviegoers were female viewers drawn to the suspense, not the internet drama surrounding Sydney Sweeney. Meanwhile, social media reactions to Sydney remain deeply divided. Some users accuse her of being insincere or overly calculated in how she handles controversy, while others see her as a misunderstood actress caught in non-stop online criticism. A number of fans say they'll continue supporting her projects because they believe her talent speaks for itself, while others claim they're stepping away from her work altogether. For many casual viewers who don't follow celebrity drama, Sydney is still mostly known as that actress from Euphoria who's always in major ad campaigns. Those audiences likely saw The Housemaid because it looked entertaining, not because of any deeper cultural debates. Still, within the industry, reports suggest that her media image may have become complicated. Some insiders allege that Sydney has strained relationships with a few peers and journalists, leading to speculation about how that might affect her career moving forward. Industry watchers say The Housemaid's financial success doesn't necessarily erase the challenges Sydney faces behind the scenes. Her issue isn't about box office numbers, it's reportedly about reputation and collaboration. When rumors spread that fellow cast members allegedly avoid appearing beside her, or that high-profile interviews spark unwanted attention from powerful figures, it paints a picture of an actress constantly surrounded by controversy. Following the reaction to her American Eagle campaign, many felt she had a chance to make a stronger public statement addressing the criticism. Instead, she released a brief comment saying she was against hate and divisiveness, and that her intentions had been misunderstood. Some observers praised her for staying calm and professional, while others thought the response was too vague to change public opinion. At this point, it seems Sydney's career continues to walk a fine line between major success and constant online debate. But no one can deny that she's still one of the most talked about stars in Hollywood today. That's not exactly taking control of the story. It's more like hoping the storm passes, but it hasn't passed at all. The Housemaid became a hit for several clear reasons. It was adapted from a popular book series, had a loyal built-in fan base, featured the talented Amanda Seyfried, and dropped during the holiday season when audiences were eager for a gripping, easy-to-watch thriller. So while the movie's success was huge, many analysts say it wasn't Sydney Sweeney's star power alone that carried it. It succeeded despite the surrounding controversy, not because of it. Now, the big question is whether Sydney can really lead an entire franchise moving forward. How will she handle major press tours when interviewers are likely to bring up topics like her past brand campaigns or the ongoing rumors about tension on set? Can she just keep deflecting with no comment forever? There's also the challenge of publicity management. Some reports even joke that studios might need extra PR teams to control the online chaos that follows every project she touches. And when Euphoria Season 3 finally airs, how will that play out? If the speculation about Zendaya and Sydney's strained relationship is even partly true, promoting the show could be tricky. HBO can't realistically run two totally separate press tours for the same series without people noticing. At some point, journalists will ask why the two leads rarely appear together, and that question alone could end up overshadowing the actual show. The hardest part, according to commentators, is that much of this situation reportedly comes from choices Sydney made herself. No one forced her into any specific campaigns or projects. She's made calculated moves that helped her stay relevant, but they also kept her surrounded by controversy. Yes, she's more famous now than ever. But fame doesn't always equal respect. Industry observers often compare her to Zendaya, who has built a reputation as one of the most consistent and admired young actresses in Hollywood. Zendaya's approach to her career, selective roles, polished public image, and professional consistency has set a very different tone. Meanwhile, Sydney's path seems focused on staying visible, which keeps her trending but also keeps her under intense scrutiny. Zendaya's career has become the blueprint for young Hollywood success. She's starring in Dune, Spider-Man, and Euphoria, landing top fashion deals and earning widespread respect for her professionalism and selective choices. Her image is built entirely on talent and focus. Nothing flashy, just consistent quality. Sydney Sweeney, on the other hand, reportedly took a very different route. She said yes to almost every opportunity, quickly becoming both wealthy and famous, but also one of the most polarizing figures in entertainment. Despite the Housemaid's massive success, industry insiders wonder how sustainable that fame is. Can she shift from thrillers to serious dramatic roles? Will top directors still want to work with her long-term? Right now, Sydney's public image seems defined more by controversy than craft, and rebranding in Hollywood isn't easy. The internet might move on fast, but studios and directors have long memories. Once you're labeled high drama or risky, it can stick for years. Whether she can turn that around or stay boxed into her current reputation remains the big question for her career's next chapter. If Sydney Sweeney isn't careful, her career could take a very unpredictable turn. Just a few years ago, she had it all: talent, beauty, and one of the biggest roles on television. She had opportunities most actors only dream of, but somewhere along the way, she got caught in non-stop controversy. And now her biggest challenge isn't getting work, it's keeping her reputation intact. The Housemaid proved she's still bankable and that audiences will show up for her movies. But success doesn't erase the tension behind the scenes or the image she's built over time. In Hollywood, reputation and relationships are everything, and once they're strained, it's hard to rebuild them. Sydney's career isn't over, it's just at a crossroads. Whether she rebuilds her image or stays locked in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons depends on what she does next. If you want more breakdowns like this, covering Hollywood's biggest comebacks, controversies, and untold stories, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update.